Norway is one of the most picturesque countries on Earth, and that is its main appeal. Stunning Norwegian fjords with impossibly high sides carve huge interior gashes from a rugged coastline. A natural fortress's ramparts can be likened to Norway's interior's hilly landscape elsewhere. These settings provide a backdrop for some of Europe's most beautiful communities, no matter where you are in Norway. On your journey to Norway, make sure to check out these locations. Number 10, Geirangerfjord. The most romantic boat ride in the entire world must be the 12-mile, 20-kilometer chug around Geirangerfjord, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. While ice-cold cascades tumble, twist, and burst down to emerald green waters, long-forgotten farmsteads still cling to the fjord's nearly vertical cliffs. Take it from Geiranger, and take in the tranquility as you depart the bustling port, or board at the more sedate Hellesilt. The isolated parts of Geirangerfjord can only be reached by boat, so get your camera ready and take a seat on the upper deck in the open. Number 9. Lofoten Islands. Few tourists ever forget their initial impression of the Lofoten Islands. In summer greens and yellows or the stark blue and white of winter, the sheer walls of this amazing island chain rise abruptly from the water, their razor-sharp peaks stabbing at a brilliant cobalt sky or cloaked curiously in swirling mists. The wooden rohrbuer, fishing cottages that cling to the shoreline in postcard-perfect communities, and the A-frame fish-drying racks reveal a region and a culture that are closely tied to the sea. A fantastic location to view the northern lights is the Lofoten Islands. They are visible from October to March during the long Arctic night, dancing across the sky in green or white curtains of light that change in intensity and take on shapes that seem to have been inspired by a young child's imaginative play. Even while there is no assurance that the northern lights will be visible at any given time, if you are fortunate enough to see them, it will be an unforgettable experience. Number 8. Kirkenes. The famous Hurtigruten coastal ferry transports you on a voyage that is so much more than just a means of transportation. It takes you along one of the most breathtaking coastline routes on the planet, as it travels between Bergen and Kirkenes on a daily basis. The ship enters coastal fjords, docks in remote communities that are inaccessible by road, draws close to magnificent headlands, and crosses the Arctic Circle before returning a few days later. The full length of Norway's most beautiful coast is displayed in the process. Number 7, Nordland Coast. The rarely used Kistriksveien coastline path through Nordland is a site of extraordinary and breathtaking beauty. Even if you don't have time for the entire 400 miles, 650 kilometers, at least a sampling is required if you're heading north, especially from Sandnesjøen to Storvik. It's not a trip that should be hurried. Both highland glaciers and reachable offshore islands like Lovund, which is home to 200,000 puffins, and Vega, which is famous for its eider ducks, are alluring diversion. The frequent ferry hops offer mandatory built-in rests and breathtaking seascapes. Number 6. Bergen. Bergen is one of Europe's most attractive cities, set amid a magnificent and uniquely Norwegian coastline scenery of fjords and mountains. A storied maritime history has left the city with the picturesque and UNESCO World Heritage listed waterfront neighborhood of Bergen. An antique tangle of wooden structures. The stately and colorful wooden houses of Bergen, a signpost to a history both affluent and turbulent, now house the artisan boutiques and traditional eateries for which the city is becoming increasingly recognized. Number 5. Jodenheimen National Park. Central Norway's high country is one of Europe's best summer getaways. Although there are other national parks with well-maintained hiking paths, Jotunheimen National Park, which translates as Home of the Giants, stands out above the rest. Jotunheimen is especially magnificent, with 60 glaciers and 275 summits over 6,560 feet at 2,000 m. It is home to classic paths such as Besseggen, Horungen, and those in the shadow of Galdhøpiggen, Norway's highest peak. Jotunheimen's proximity to the fjords adds to its allure. Number 4. Preikestolen. Preikestolen, Pulpit Rock, is unique among lookouts. Pulpit Rock is one of Norway's defining pictures and most eye-catching sights, perched on an almost flawlessly vertical cliff that hangs more than 2,000 feet, 600 m, above the waters of magnificent Lysefjord. It's the kind of spot where you can hardly look as tourists dangle far more than seems prudent over the edge, even as you find yourself driven irresistibly towards the edge. Number 3. Svalbard. Svalbard, the subpolar archipelago, is a true destination of the heart. Svalbard Europe's most evocative slice of the polar north, and one of the continent's remaining big wilderness zones, is deliciously secluded yet shockingly accessible. Shapely peaks, enormous ice fields, 60% of Svalbard is covered by glaciers, and heartbreakingly beautiful fjords serve as a backdrop for an abundance of Arctic species, including walruses and almost 1/6 of the world's polar bears. It's no surprise that Svalbard is jam-packed with summer and winter activities that get you out in the snow. Number 2, Notodden. There are wooden stave churches all over southern and central Norway. They come in all shapes and sizes, from the gigantic to the pocket-sized and adorable. Norway's stave churches, many of which are wrapped in troll myths and ornamented with magnificently carved creatures, are without a doubt the epitome of fairy tale churches. None more so than the breathtaking Stave Church in Notodden. Number 1, Oslo. Oslo is changing for the better. This nation's capital aspires to be recognized as a major hub for culture and the arts. In the last few years, it has accomplished a striking rebirth of its waterfront district with daring architecture. A grade-A modern art gallery, new restaurants, and even a beach. It already overflows with excellent museums, art galleries, and an opera house so glacier white that even Sydney could be envious. Oslo is a city that should be kept an eye on as it grows. Our list of the top 10 destinations in Norway is complete. Every traveler may find something to enjoy in Norway, from the mesmerizing fjords to the energetic cities and the unspoiled Arctic landscapes. Which of these places would you put on your bucket list then? Tell us in the comments section below. For more travel ideas, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then, safe travels.